was getting a lot of headaches during the winter, and my grandmother sent me to a doctor. And that's why I was getting, because I was doing a lot of straining with my eyes. So they helped me out a lot, and I see the ball much better, rotation.
This year, Mitchell's a dream spokesman for an optometrist. He leads the majors in home runs, RBIs, and is right up there in hits, slugging percentage, and total bases. All the raw talent he showed as a youngster is now being bolstered by confidence. Confidence in himself and from his teammates.
Because you know that when you go out there, you're going to get a pitch to hit because they don't want to face Kevin. But also as a team, it gives you a sense of confidence knowing that, you know, when Kevin's up there in the way he's been swinging the bat, that he's going to do the job for you.
Gone are the controversial days in New York when he was labeled a malcontent. Gone also the days when the Padres, when Mitchell didn't know when or if he was going to play. Now he's made the switch to full-time outfielder. Architect of the move, Giants manager Roger Craig.
The only thing is I have a lot of confidence in the winter meetings and in spring training. We were criticized for not making a big deal to get a power hitter to hit behind Will Clark. Well, we felt and had a lot of confidence in Kevin Mitchell, and right now he's showing everybody this.
He really helped me out. Coming over here, he gave me a lot of confidence to play in this game. And all he tells me to go out there and do is just play for him and give him 180%.
He looks bigger because of a rigorous off-season conditioning program. It included working with a martial arts instructor and a little old-fashioned training.
Did a lot of weight work. I did a lot of running up hills with a 70-pound log, and it really helped me out a lot.
So how does Kevin Mitchell see his future? He knows if he keeps hitting like this, he might look up someday and find himself in some bright light.
I feel relaxed. I feel happy. I feel like I got a home now, you know, that where I'm stabilized and I can go out here and play every day. You know, I can always come to the ballpark and know I'm in the lineup. So that's what's making me happy, and as long as I'm happy, I'm going to play good.
One thing that Kevin Mitchell emphasized, a quick start in April is nice, but a fast finish come September, that would be even better. For ESPN's Game Day, I'm Dennis Kirkpatrick in Los Angeles.
All right, we'll return with more Game Day in just a moment, but first, here's the rundown of today's busy afternoon of Major League Baseball.
4 years ago, Richard Tarditz came from France to the United States to visit some friends for a few weeks and decided to enroll in college at Georgia, where he walked on the football team. Though Tarditz had played on the French junior national rugby team, he had never played American football, never even seen a football game. He had a hazy idea of what the rules were about, but from the very first day, he was in for a lot of surprises.
I thought they were all welcome, you know. I didn't know about the scholarship things and people getting recruited. I thought just everybody wanted to play like in rugby, you know, in France or soccer. You just come on and try to make the team, and if you don't make it, you just don't make it.
I can recall the first day trying to get him to line up at tight end to fire off and block somebody. He fired off and tackled them and wrestled them to the ground.
Richard quickly learned he had come to a land where football was king and could make you a star, and the quarterback was the bad guy, and if you got to him enough times, football could pay for your education. Richard needed a scholarship, so he studied hard, learned his lessons so well that Coach Dooley did something he'd only done once before in 25 years of coaching at Georgia.
One day in a scrimmage, which was the spring after his first year, he sacked the quarterback 5 times, and on that 5th sack is when I gave him that battlefield promotion. I gave him a scholarship on the spot.
Over the next 3 years, Richard's fairy tale continued. He earned a starting position, broke Georgia's season sack record, broke Georgia's all-time sack record, made All-SEC, a basic gridiron star. But there's more. He also completed a double major for international business and management information in 3 years with a 3.2 GPA, and he's now completing his master's in finance and computer applications. He was honored this year with a postgraduate scholar athlete award, which he plans to apply towards law school. The only thing missing from Richard's charmed life was his parents.
4 years in this country, I've always talked to my parents, you know, and friends, and I tried to describe to them what football was all about. And that's something you just can't relate in Europe. You know, we don't have this kind of fans, we don't have the stadiums, we don't have this facilities to practice at the college level. Maybe for the national team, they may have these facilities, but not for a college team.
So the University of Georgia invented something they called Franco Georgia Day. They had a parade. They brought Monsieur et Madame Tarditz over from France. And the Bulldogs invited the Barretts rugby team over to play football à la Française. The French show they, too, have perfected the lateral pass, making it harder to rush the passer. The line of scrimmage, a little bit different. Even dads can play at this game. All of this hoopla just for making the football team. What a country.
And this could happen only in America.
Drafts coming up in just a few minutes. We'll have 7 full hours of coverage with all the gang, including Chris Berman in New York.
If you were stuck on a desert island, would you rather have a mattress, a stereo, or a book?
I majored in East Asian religions.
That way he can order in a Chinese restaurant.
But I feel that Deion has said all along football is the thing that he wants to do first and foremost. And the other thing to keep in mind is that Deion likes the glamour, so to speak. He's certainly going to find that in football. The night that his team, Albany, played in Canton, which was the evening that Sid Thrift saw him, he got on a bus after the game, which they won. He ended up in Harrisburg at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's not exactly the glamorous life. Now, the other thing to point out is that they may be bringing him up to AAA soon, but the other thing is that he will not make it to the majors until the end of 1989. And that's all we have here on Deion and his baseball, and let's go to break right now. Stay with us, please.
The Baltimore County Police Department is accepting applications for police officer and cadets. As the largest accredited police department in the nation, Baltimore County seeks applicants with the qualities expected of a law enforcement officer in a fast-growing and progressive agency. If you're highly motivated and want to serve the community, the Baltimore County Police Department is looking for you. Please contact us, 494-2060. A recruiter will be glad to help you. Again, the number is 494-2060.
This announcement is an exclusive offer for cable viewers only. Stop. Don't pay too much for your next new car or truck. Use the Imperial Nissan Cable Coupon and save hundreds, maybe even $1,000 or more. Here's how it works. Come to Imperial Nissan. Tell your salesman, I saw the cable coupon. And here's the deal. No money down. And we pay your sales tax. But that's not all. You take immediate delivery with no money down. None. The cable coupon. No money down. And we pay your sales tax. Only at Imperial Nissan. Beltway Exit 17. Security Boulevard. New game at McDonald's with over 70 million prizes. Enough for 1 out of 3 people to win. Delicious food prizes, a holiday and escape, $1 million. Get your game piece, win instantly, or collect letters to win.
S-C-R-A-B-B-L-E. Oh, come on, play Scrabble, let's sticky see.
Back now at the NFL draft, you are seeing guys who, if we didn't take this shot, may not make our telecast before we go off at 7 o'clock. That's because the Buffalo Bills have the 82nd overall pick. They don't have a first or second, courtesy of Cornelius Bennett, and talking with members of, we can say it once this show, Tommy, our Bills. I know they ordered extra sandwiches and everything for the press guys up in Buffalo because they figured they'd have a lot of time on their hands, as our friends do, over our shoulders. They're just hoping to make the telecast, and maybe there's the promo for the 11 p.m. Sports Center so you can get Buffalo's picks then. We just heard from Philadelphia for the first time, and a couple of picks we'll hear from Minnesota for the first time, and so everybody sooner or later will get a pick. We haven't heard many quarterbacks mentioned, and there's a reason for that. Sure, Troy Aikman was the first pick overall. Mike Elkins has gone with Kansas City. But 2 guys, Tim Rosenball, Washington State, Steve Walsh, Miami of Florida, they will be in the supplemental draft. We might have heard both of their names. Were they in this draft? Now, Rosenball is a guy that many people had improving so much that he was approaching Aikman, the way he played for Dennis Erickson up at Washington State, Joe.
Well, he has that kind of ability. You know, he's got a nice delivery. He's played in a big-time system. He puts the ball up, and he moves around very well. I think, you know, he's like the